Alright, now after some trial and error, I finally got some of the bugs under control as far as knowing how to work around them for Prison Architect. And there's a problem I have. First off, this is my fully functional prison new design. And I chose this design for a number of reasons. A common shower with enough shower heads potentially for all prisoners. As you can see, I'm 67 of 100, and we will be at 200 when all of these are filled in. I don't quite know if I want to keep these 4 and 4, which would be 8 less, so that would be 292. Because what I could do is extend the workshop down to here, and double the amount of workers I get in the workshop, which would potentially double my output, and that would be really useful, and just move the yard down here. But then again, having 2 yards might be beneficial, because when they wake up they go to the yard, and this would be nice. And there will be a second door to the laundromat here. Anyway, 2 CCTV rooms and 1 office for each, 6 offices and 2 rooms. This gives you, of course, a total of 18 cameras. So, and down at the bottom, the morgue and the medical bay and 2 transformers going into the utility screen. We can see that we're still on 2 separate power systems, top and bottom, which you have to do anyway, because if you link them, they just trip. Now here's the glitch. I originally had 1 entrance here, and anytime a prisoner got released, they would just go out the exit. But one time during the construction that you just saw, I did put this door down here to make access easier for the construction crew, and in so doing, what happened was all of the pathfinding for released prisoners decided to go out this door. They would not go out the main entrance anymore. And removing this door made it to where all released prisoners would sit on their asses and do nothing. So putting that door down, suddenly they got off their asses and started to come down to the door and went out. And I can't fix it. And then when I built this side of the prison, this was no longer the door to the outside, but they still would bunch around here. And then when they come through here, they would come up through here and then bunch in the visitation room, and they would not go up. Even if this door was open, they would not pathfind out. So I have to build this door down here. Piece of shit. Because what they have to do is they pathfind to this door, and even to this one. But then they come down through here, and they have to go out this way. Because the pathfinding algorithm is still bugged. And I have to have 1 solid canteen. Because I liked my previous design with 2 canteens and 1 kitchen, but it didn't work. That prison became a failure. What happened was, if this was the kitchen and the 2 canteens are up and above and down below, they wouldn't distribute the food evenly. Even if I only had 1 serving table down here and the rest of the serving tables up here, they would put too much food down here or too much food up here, and any prisoners down here or up here wouldn't get enough food, and they wouldn't pathfind through the kitchen. Even if the kitchen doors were open, they wouldn't pathfind through the kitchen into the second canteen, because when it's mealtime, they are stuck in the canteen. So some prisoners would starve, get pissed, another day goes by, they would get starved, and they would riot. And there's nothing you can do about it. So until you can assign cell blocks to certain canteens, certain showers, certain workshops, certain yards, like literally assign them, and not just creatively set your schedule to where they would pathfind to the nearest utility, you have to have 1 solid canteen, 1 solid shower. Otherwise, they really will have problems. So now I have a central canteen. There's enough space in here to make enough tables for 200 seats, just so you know. I haven't built them because I don't need them. I'm only at 65 of 100, and this potentially will get me to 200. I have a storage facility next to the delivery. The only thing really in these crates are trees. Trees, because the trees were getting in the way. You can't build with the trees in the way, so I dismantled them. I don't need these trees. But anyway, also, there's my accent again. That's not even my accent. That's a borrowed accent word. Because I never say also. I just did it because I know someone from Jersey said also, so I picked up on it. Anyway, also, what was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, visitation, I got 6 tables again. You can't rotate these seats to where this bucket seat is on this side of the table. You can make that bucket seat on the left or the right, but you can't put the single seat on the top. only the bottom left or right. So rotating those is still bugged. You can't rotate shop benches to be vertical, only horizontal, which pisses me off because I really would have liked to have made a shop longitudinal instead of latitudinal. Anyway, besides that, it's not so bad. The yard does work just fine with even up to 100 people. I was talking about prisoners and the guards. If the prisoners are under the work schedule, what happens is they might say working, and they'll bunch around the outside door. For instance, this was still the outside at one point, and this wasn't built, and it would say working kitchen. They would work. And what they would try to do was the pathfinding algorithm would say, okay, there's a crate of food out here. A prisoner would get assigned to pick up that crate of food, and he would come down here and want to pathfind to pick up the crate of food. He would pathfind out to here, then realize he's free. Then the other pathfinding algorithm would kick in and say, I'm free and let's escape. So he would start escaping. Then you get a guard to come down here and beat the shit out of him. But the guards were letting them out. So it wasn't my fault that I have escapees. If I look at my prisoner report and I look at my prisoner staff, where is it, visitation, right here, escapes 31. That is not my fault. The unsolved murders, 15. That was because of a riot. And the riot happened. I'll get to why the riot happened in a second, okay? But the guards were letting the prisoners out. It wasn't my fault. They were opening the door, letting them out to quote-unquote work, and then they were escaping. So that was a bunch of bullshit. So the guard AI for letting workers through is bugged, and that they'll let prisoners who are assigned to work out as well. Okay? That's still bugged. Also, what's still under construction is if a construction worker is assigned to take an item off of a truck and that worker then dies. See, the reason why I had all those murders was because a prisoner got rowdy. He missed dinner and he got rowdy. And I had a construction worker was building the extra shower, and he beat the shit out of him and killed him. It only takes a hit or two to kill a construction worker. Problem was, there was a truck down here with one single sheet metal delivery left, and that's the only thing left in the truck, and it was waiting for the pickup from the construction worker to pick up the sheet metal and put it in deliveries. The worker assigned to pick up that sheet metal was the one that got destroyed, was the one that got killed. And the problem is that now this truck is stuck here. You don't see the truck, of course, because I'm explaining to you that happened in the past. That truck wouldn't move. And I don't know if that gets reset when the dead body gets sent to the morgue, like the morgue trucks that come. I don't know. But there was a morgue truck that had already gotten filled with dead bodies, and guess what? A tree had spawned right here on the road. A morgue truck had come, picked up some bodies, and left, but it was stuck down here. Stuck. It would not leave. So I had a tree blocking this side of the road, so the morgue truck wouldn't leave, and the dead body of the construction worker. So now we have no more dead bodies can be picked up. There's a backup of trucks, because now we have one truck that can't be picked up, its last piece of good, its last goods, because the dead worker is still here. The dead worker can't be collected because at the time I didn't have a morgue. The morgue slab was full for the dead body. They couldn't bring him over to the morgue slab. So he was stuck around here, dead body, and he couldn't be delivered to another morgue truck. Now, the algorithm doesn't reset. When the workers die, it doesn't assign their jobs to somebody else. It might assign their jobs if they get put on a morgue slab, and it might assign their jobs if they get assigned to a morgue truck, a hearse. But he wasn't getting reassigned, and I didn't know that at the time. So all the trucks were getting backed up. A sheet metal truck was stuck here, a sheet metal truck was stuck here, another truck was stuck here with prisoners, a truck was stuck here, and because those trucks were backed up, I had a food truck that was to be delivered, like this sheet metal right here. Let's just say for the sake of argument that was the one assigned to the construction worker. It wouldn't get picked up. So now, and I also wasn't getting food delivered, so my cooks weren't making food for the evening. This happened during work hours, before the 4-hour mark where chefs start cooking. So now no one can make enough food. We had about half as many half as many meals created as we had prisoners. So now they deliver all the food out here to the serving tables, and those prisoners eat, but now we have a bunch of pissed off prisoners who can't eat because the chefs didn't get the food delivered in time. Problem. And the trucks were backed up. The only way around it was to click on the sheet metal that was on the truck and click dump. See how you can dump? I had to dump it. Once I dumped it, another worker was assigned to grab it and throw it in the garbage. When that happened, the truck then moved on its merry way, the second truck moved down, and then, only then, were other construction workers coming and picking up the sheet metal and causing the trucks to continue on their merry fucking way. So I had a riot for 3 days because of bugged job assignment. So job assignment is still bugged. It won't reset if you have a dead body. People who are released, like this worker says working. Oh, that's a bug. That's a bug. If a prisoner is resting and it goes to the work and he's on a bench, he will not, repeat, he will not start working. He will pretend to work but still be on the bench. The only way around that is to go to regime. I said go to regime and assign the hour you're on to somewhere else. So let's just assign it to yard really quick. And now we can hit play, and now he'll get reassigned. Hit pause, go back, go to work, because you don't want them to actually stop working. And now he's moved slightly on that bench. So now we'll go back to work, and now he's not bugged anymore. See that? But if a prisoner is resting when work starts and he's on a bench, he will stay on that bench and pretend to work. It's another bug. Yes, this is still alpha. Yes, these bugs still exist. You can't get around that. Oh, look. Working. Okay, yeah, you think you're working. But I thought I assigned that to staff only. Deployment. Oh, no, I didn't. They can still clean down here. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so there's a bug. Sheet metal, the deliveries are bugged. The guards letting workers out of the fucking prison are bugged. And still a lot of bugs. But other than the bugs, I've managed to work around those bugs. And for some reason my laundry isn't working because there's no more laundry baskets in the laundry room. Oh, and do you want to know why I have grates around the washing machines? Because when the riot happened, they damaged the washing machines, and the washing machines were broke. Washing machines break, they spill water everywhere. When a construction worker comes and repairs them, it costs $1,000 to repair, same price as to buy them. They repair them. As soon as they repair them, they blow up because they're electricity and water. It kills the construction worker, and the washing machine breaks again. So, if a riot occurs, and they beat the shit out of the washing machines and break them, these drains will prevent the water from spilling. So that means construction workers can then repair the machine and the water won't short-circuit the washing machine. The only way around that, if you don't have grates, is to go into utilities and dismantle the power cable. Dismantling like this piece right here will cause them to short out. Well, actually I have a power strip here too. You have to dismantle the power. Because, as of yet, you can't click on this washing machine and turn it off, which doesn't make any fucking sense, because if you have you should be able to turn it off. You don't fix a component that's plugged into the fucking wall. You can turn off these switch on, switch off. You can switch on, switch off capacitors, but you can't switch on and switch off these electrical loads. Okay? So if they beat the shit out of washing machines, you have to disconnect the power manually. Go into utilities, dismantle that cable. Then they can repair them and they won't die. I had 18 construction workers and then I got down to 7 because they kept repairing those and it blows up and they die. So, another bug. Actually, I don't think that was a bug. I think that was designed that way, that they would blow up and kill the construction workers. But it's a horrible design feature. I need to go on the forums and I need to bitch. Okay, now you see these little things right here? Solitary cells. Yes, I know. It's not really a solitary cell, and I have plans to make this section right here into solitary cells. But if it says a prisoner is awaiting solitaire and there's no solitaire, he will stay cuffed indefinitely waiting for solitaire. So all I did was assign corners. The guards will escort them here in the canteen to these corners. And basically it's like you go sit in the corner and think about what you've done. It works. It works, it's corny, it's stupid. Okay? They're resting because I don't have enough jobs for them to assign. Oh, and look, see, I have all these meals created. We have enough prisoners to where they'll make enough meals. So that's not so bad. If I go into deployment and jobs, actually, I don't have any jobs assigned. Wow. My chefs just barely got enough done. That's interesting. Normally there's enough jobs. It's also still buggy in that prisoners sometimes get deassigned. Okay? If you swap the schedule out like I did and come back, it seems that prisoners won't work as well. I don't know why they got deassigned. But my workshop is working nicely. And I have a guard patrolling. I got a metal detector here. And I got one metal detector here between the kitchen and the canteen. I didn't overdo it with metal detectors, but, you know. Anyway, so that's basically it. I don't think I'm going to do any more Prison Architect. This is probably the last episode to show you how to get around the Alpha 11 bugs at the time. One canteen, hopefully one laundry room. You want to share that facility so they have least amount of walking. Please, I got the hiccups again, great. Hiccups are what caused me to die and don't starve. Anyway, I have my CCTV rooms, so a couple guards working. I don't have enough cameras installed yet. I have, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. I have guards patrolling, so I don't need the cameras here. But this allows me to free up the guards if I so choose. So, I can go into deployment and just take away the patrols because I have cameras here now. But the I said take away the patrols. But the guards do deter violence in the I want to call it the berthing, in the cell block. And I didn't build the walls because I was running out of money. Now I'm doing okay with money, but I had that riot which really took away a lot of my potential to work. So get around the electrical bugs to blow up. It's not really a bug, but get around that for now by putting grates down. Get around the prisoners going to different canteens and starving by having one canteen. Get around the don't let prisoners who are never build a second exit to your prison, because the pathfinding for released prisoners will go to that exit. So I had to do this. If I get rid of these two doors, prisoners who are released stay in my prison forever, and I don't want that. So I have to keep these here until that bug gets fixed. Okay. So don't ever have more than one exit to your prison ever. And forever, yeah, never do it. And I guess that's it for bugs, for features, and how to make a successful prison. I have 100 cells, 200 cells potential. I could make more cells. For instance, if I made these cell blocks and then just made a workshop here. I don't really care. 200 for a small map is good, and yes, I can extend them. I can, do land grants and extend these, but I'm not going to, because I like having a small self-sustained prison. I haven't designed maps yet for bigger prisons, and I will do that. But this is this wraps this up, okay? This took me a long time to make too. That little cutscene you saw at the beginning, that took a long time. That was like 9-10 hours of play. Because I would only record when I was building, etc., etc., and I had to plan that just right. So now everyone's eating. I don't know why these 4 prisoners aren't eating. They're locked up somewhere. I don't know. Okay, 15 prisoners coming in. We got this. We got this. Anyway, so that's it for Prison Architect. I will be doing different stuff later. I just wanted to wrap up Prison Architect. I will probably do a couple more Don't Starve videos. I am overdue for my Final Fantasy VI Moogles episode, my next one for the airship going to the Imperial capital. I'm overdue for that, so I want to get that out of the way. Anyway, look at my shower. There is potential for exactly 200 shower heads here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200. Yeah, big ass shower. Right. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with me for Prison Architect. And I probably won't do another episode until they have another alpha update. Okay, so we have some time, and I'll get to the Moogles because they're overdue. Maybe a Don't Starve episode, but I kind of need to do something you guys will enjoy. So I'm still working on getting a game that's fun, and I think I'll do an indie game next. So until then, see you later.